So I have taped down my paper and I'm going to start with the drawing. So our Diya comes in this much space, okay, all over. So I'll start by say for example this is the rim, and till here I will have the base of Diya. Okay, so this is all light now and I'm good with how this has turned out. So next up I will add the crackers, firecrackers here. You can also use white crayons if you don't have a masking tape. I'm using a masking tape here to apply. If you don't have masking tape, you can still go ahead and use a white crayon and just take it along the shape of your firecracker. So once you paint on it, the paints won't come in those surfaces and you will still have the look and feel of a firecracker there. Okay, so I'm taking masking fluid here and I will start by applying it. You can also use a brush for this. Since these crackers are all having straight lines, I thought of adding it directly through a palette knife. Of course I will switch to brush for the other strokes here. Okay, and the final one on top. This one is a bit smaller. You can add any more firecrackers if you wish, or you can skip this. This is completely optional. Okay, now once this is done, we still have those falling down, right? Once it goes up, it becomes boom, and then it starts coming down. We have to add those elements here. So I'll let it completely dry now and come back once for painting. Now this is completely dry and I have poured in all the paints. This is cadmium yellow, this is burnt sienna, this is a red color, pyrene red, this is alizarin crimson, this is bright violet, and this is phthalo blue. We'll also use some Indian yellow. Okay, and of course for adding the depth effects I'll be using some Payne's gray, and I think those are most of the colors. If I use any other color during the painting, I will let you know. So to get started with, this is going to be a wet on wet technique. So I will go ahead and apply water completely. The paper I have used is 100% cotton 300 GSM paper, and it is from the brand Fabriano. I would highly recommend 100% cotton paper because for watercolor techniques, for wet on wet technique mainly, cotton paper helps a lot. Okay, so I'm not applying too much of water on inside of the Diya. I'm just skipping that part, but even if you have applied, it's okay. We can just skip adding some colors onto it. But in order to avoid creating harsh edges, I'll just apply one layer here very lightly. Okay, I will let the water seep in for a couple of seconds. So the trick here is to see if there is a thin shiny layer created on the paper. There should be no water puddles. Okay, if you see any, you have to just drag it to the corner of the paper. Okay. Okay, so this looks good. There is a thin shiny layer on the paper. Now I'll get started with the painting. Okay, so I'm going to be starting from the lightest shade here. I'll take some Indian yellow and apply it here. Okay, so once this is done, next up is I will take the red that I have on my palette and start apply that. I'll also take some alizarin crimson here and add it at places. I'll also add some red over here. Since the other color that I'm going to add here is the violet, even if it mixes with red, it's okay for me. I'm just taking some more water and mixing all these colors here. Okay. Yeah. And now what I'll do is I'll take the same red and mix with the phthalo blue that I have here. Okay, this color looks good, and I'll start by adding it here. Then gradually I will switch on to the violet that I have, mix some more phthalo blue to that and add it to the edges. We really have to be quick while painting this because we never know when our paper starts to dry off completely. So I'll take some more red, mix it with and keep a little bit red more in this mix and apply it here. And before this completely dries off, I'll take a smaller brush and just mix it off on the paper itself. Yeah. I'll take some more violet here, and this can all be random. You need not have the same colors. I mean, here on the background, you can have different tonal shades and different values of each of these colors on your painting, and just make sure to keep it a bit random. Okay, now coming back to this, I'm just adding some more red. And before this dries off, wherever I have the starting of my firework, I will lift off some of the paints. That is, I have no water in my brush and I apply a little bit of pressure here and remove it. Again, remove excess of paint from the brush onto here. Okay, so I'll do the same here, but I will add more of bright red here. Okay, and this crimson, I'll add a slash of it here and there. Okay, so of course I'm going to just splatter some water here and there for effect. Okay, now here we need to add the shadow of our Diya. So for that I'm going to take some paint spray and mix it with the violet that we have here, this mix that we have, and yeah, I'm going to since the paper is still wet, there is always a chance that it will mix with the neighbor. So I'll also lift off some of the colors here so that we can clearly see the shadow getting created and slightly mix it off. Okay, and here I will add some alizarin crimson just for the effect. Okay, so this looks good, and for the Diya, I will apply a very light shade of this purple mix that I have here, violet mix that I have here. So I will switch to a smaller brush. Okay, so this looks good. And now I'll come back once the paper is completely dry. I'll come back to paint the other parts of the Diya, because now if I paint anything, there is a high risk of the paints merging onto the background, and I do not want that to happen. Okay, before moving out here, I just want to add some more drama to this, just with a little bit of, you know, here and there. If it is too much, again I'll just lift it off. That's not a worry. Okay, so this looks good for me, and I'm going to wait till it completely dries off and come back. Wait, I again forgot something. The splatters, the paint splatters. So here now I'll take some red and do the splatters on this side. Okay, we'll come back and do this once the paper is dry as well. With this, I'll just add it for more effect. Okay, so I'm going to wait and come back once it's dry. Okay, now it's completely dry, and you can see how beautifully the background has blended all together. I like the feel of it, and it can be completely random because it's just a background and pop of colors here and there. So now I will get started with painting the Diya. Okay, I'll still not remove it yet. I'll wait for some more time. And I have changed the water. This is, I have fresh batch of water. I would highly recommend for you to do that as well. Okay, so to get started with, I'm going to take some Indian Golden Deep and just create a base layer with it for the rim of my top of my Diya. Okay, so we already have that color here, right? So the same one. I'm just going to this can be as transparent as you need. because this is just our base color. Okay, so okay, now that we have it, I'll start by taking burnt sienna here. Let me activate this. Okay, and remove excess of water. So why did I apply that yellow on the tone is because even when this, say for example now, I want a very thin layer of burnt sienna here, right? So I'll just take more of water and bring it down like this. Even when I do this, we have a very beautiful undertone of Indian yellow. And Indian yellow along with burnt sienna makes a very beautiful combination for, that is exactly what we require for Diwali painting. So I just go ahead with that combination here. Okay. Now, before this dries off, I'll just lift off the painting. So lift off the paints, okay? Yeah. Okay. Now, either I can let it completely dry or let me get started with painting the Diya part. So for that, I'm taking some violet and first my outline is still visible, so I'm just painting that. Okay. Once this is over, I'll extend the same to rest of my Diya. The reason for mixing, even though I have a violet, reason for mixing red and blue here is, you see once it has dried off, it beautifully just disperses into a bit of red shades here and there. So I really like it. And there won't be any muddy colors if I mix it with, even by mistake, if some of my colors get mixed with the violet here, there won't be muddy colors. So that's the reason I have mixed them both. Okay. So taking a bit more of Payne's Grey here for the darkest shade. Okay. Oops. It went out a bit and now there is no option left. Let me lift it off a bit and see if I can fix it. Yeah, slightly. I will twist it so that I am having a better angle. Okay. So again, I am taking some Payne's Grey here. Okay, and now okay, in order to show the bulge in there, what I'll do, I'll just lift the paints off and move my brush in this angle. So what happens once it dries off, we will definitely see the brush strokes done in that manner, and we'll be able to make out that there is a bulge. Okay, so this is over and I'm just extending the shadow a bit more. Okay, so this looks good, and here I don't think we have such a big so this is the time to fix. Even now within each of this, once this is done, again I'll take some water and just okay. So now I will start with the second layer on my Diya. So taking some more burnt sienna and applying onto the oil part. Okay, so here very carefully, I'll not mix it into the cotton plug that we have. Okay, so this is that, and now again I want to lift off the paint from here. You see how easily the paints actually lift off. Okay, I want to also lift off some paint from the neighboring side, and you can see that the undertone of yellow is still there, right? So that is good. Now I'll take some more burnt sienna and start with applying onto the next layer here. Okay, now to the same mix, I'll take some violet to get a darker tone, darker shade basically, and apply it here. The same color I'm going to apply to the shadow of this as well. Okay, so till here we have a shadow. Now again I want a slight line here, so let me lift off. Okay, now I'll take some more darker shade and even for the lining of my Diya, I'll be using this shade. Mixing some Payne's Grey to the same. Okay, that's good. Now this entire region looks very two-dimensional, so I'll just add some depth here and there with just burnt sienna. Okay, again for this one line, I'm going to lift off. Okay, so for the next one, I will start with the details. So I'll take up my detailer brush, and it is, of course, I don't get it easily when I'm recording. Yeah, here it is. So I'll use my detailer brush in order to add all the details. Okay, so first there is a line here which goes, so for example, and for this side I'll take some more alizarin crimson and just add another layer here. Okay, So I'll let this dry a bit and come back. Until this is drying, I will start removing the masking fluid from the side. So make sure your fingers are clean. That is why we should not use fingers a lot, and either remove this water, whatever is there. There are some paints here, so either I can clean it off, maybe the bigger ones. Okay. Now I can start again. Be very careful. Okay, so this is it. From my crackers, I have removed all the masking tape. Now the one that is left is this particular thing, and let me get just... Okay, so for this what I will do, I'm going to take any sharp edge object, take a little bit out and then drag it. Okay, looks good. So now let's paint the Diya part. So I will take some Indian yellow, okay, and slowly apply it. I'll take some cadmium yellow and add it here, but this part I want it to be white only. Okay, take some more cadmium yellow and make a straight line, and onto this I can add more of my other colors that I want to add. Okay, so this is not completely dry, so let me start with the fireworks itself. So I'll take a very diluted form of alizarin crimson and I'll just add it here. Okay, the same I'll take a little bit of violet, a very diluted form, and this is too much dilute. Okay, some more strokes here and there, and for this one I'm going to add Indian yellow itself. So you don't have to completely fill it, just a little bit here and there. And for the other one, I'm again going to take some alizarin crimson and add that. So this is very pigmented, so let me dilute it a bit. Okay, again we're going to take some of these pigments and add this in the back. Taking some cadmium yellow, mixing it with the golden ether, and So for this one, I'll take mix of both and just apply it. Both as in alizarin crimson and the violet that I have here. Okay, and all this I'm going to add with the violet itself. Okay, now I'll take some more violet and make sure to add some splatters. Okay, the same I will take red and add more splatters. Just random strokes a bit here and there. This can be completely abstract as well, right? I'll do the same with cadmium yellow. Just a little bit more. Okay, so now this is dry, so let me go ahead and start painting this cotton plug. So I'll take burnt sienna and light here. Take some water and mix it, merge it with its sides. Take some cadmium yellow and add it here. Okay, and here I'm going to add okay, and for the tip of it, again some violet, mix it with burnt sienna and add it at the tip here. So this becomes the burning part of Vidya. Okay, I'll take some. I do not like how they don't merge nicely here, so let me go ahead and try something. I will add more of cadmium yellow here. And then mix it with this looks good, and yeah. So now for the final details, I'll take burnt sienna, mix it, and I already have this mixture with violet, and I'm just going to just adding an outline here. Okay, so on this final glaze I want to add a shiny layer. So for that I'm taking mix of cadmium yellow and golden deep and adding a shiny layer here. Once it dries, it will definitely look good. Okay, now for the details onto this as well. somehow this has been missed and it's not looking so good. So let me see how I can fix it. So this is it. I think I am happy with how this has turned out. So let me go ahead and start with the tape peel. Okay, so which is my first tape? I think this is the one, yeah. Very slowly and in an angle. So if you don't have masking tape or a crayon, you might as well just use white gouache in the end to add these. That's also completely fine. Okay, so this is our final painting and I'm very much happy with how this has turned out. You can see a very light shade of alizarin crimson coming over here, because that violet had a mix of blue, Telu blue and crimson in it. And whatever depth effect we wanted to add, it is coming out very nicely on the painting, and it's not a plain one for sure. I do wish that Diya looked more realistic, but I think it is good for now for this painting. So yeah, this is what we have painted, and I hope to see your works too. So if you paint, make sure to post your work in Instagram and tag me. I go by the hashtag tintutorials. And for learning all these techniques in depth, in detail, you can join me on Skillshare as well. Okay, so thank you.